Alright, Jerbs, right now we're looking at Caravaggio's Madonna of the Rosary, painted between 1605 and 1607. Mary sits, framed by red curtains, holding the child Christ with one hand and motioning towards St. Dominic with the other. St. Dominic holds out rosary beads to a diverse population of people, including 3 apparent beggars with dust on their feet, a woman, a child, and a wealthy-looking gentleman. To the right of the painting appear a few well-known saints from the Dominican order. St. Peter Martyr, for example, stands with his head bloodied, recalling his violent death, because he took an axe to the head. To understand this composition, you need to know a little historical context. During the 16th century, the Catholic Church was under attack from all sides. The Ottoman Empire from the east pushed westward with apparent invincibility. Martin Luther, John Calvin, and Henry VIII had each founded religious reform movements that encouraged Europeans to abandon the Church, and 2 entire continents were investigated, filled with inhabitants who had never heard of Christ or Christians. In the early 16th century, church service was conducted in Latin. Luther, Calvin, and Henry VIII seduced common people away from Catholicism by translating scripture and conducting prayer in vernacular languages, common languages, not Latin. Luther and Calvin leveled the spiritual playing field with slogans like sola fide. Latin, I know, but it means faith alone. Not money, not an indulgence, not even good deeds, just faith, and anyone could have faith. In order to combat this, church leaders held the Council of Trent, a meeting to strategize ways to reverse the spread of Protestant reform movements. This led to a shift in 16th and 17th century art making and religious experience. Popular opinion among reformers held that salvation could be purchased in the Catholic Church, that the poor had little to do with the Catholic God, and those opinions were not unfounded. 2 popes of the early 16th century were from the Medici family, a wealthy Florentine banking family who often had themselves painted into scenes with the Holy Family, showing a connection of wealth to salvation. Consequently, the strategies devised at Trent stressed spiritual elements anyone could participate in regardless of class. The Rosary and this painting fit into that context. Legend has it that during a vision the beads were given to St. Dominic by the Virgin Mary. The Dominicans became further associated with the Rosary after a miraculous victory over the Ottomans in 1571. During that battle, a group gathered in Santa Maria sopra Minerva to pray for victory, and the Catholics defeated the seemingly invincible Ottoman army at the Battle of Lepanto. Pope Gregory VIII instituted the Feast of the Rosary to commemorate the victory, and entrusted its observance to the Dominicans. Because the Rosary promotes an individual meditative type of prayer, it became increasingly popular in the post-Trent Catholic world. Regardless of class or gender, anyone can pray with beads and become part of this centuries-old tradition. A popular criticism of the Reform movement held that they had no history. With the beads, this painting seems to say you can enter the rich history of Catholicism with repetitious prayer. Interestingly, only the poor figures and the wealthy man to the left are dressed in traditional contemporary garb. This, combined with Caravaggio's famous use of light and dark, lead the viewer to ask, what or who is real, and what or who is conjured? The meditative trance provided by the Rosary prayer could summon these figures, saints, martyrs, and the Virgin, to anyone capable of prayer. Even people with dust on their feet could be in the company of Christ and his saints. This script was written with lots of help from Amy Martin of Caravaggista. If you're interested in learning more about this painting, its context, and its place in art history, visit her blog by clicking the link in the description. And follow her on Tumblr. She has great advice for art history students of all levels. If you like the way we discussed artwork on this channel, please subscribe. If you have a painting you'd like to see, contact us on Facebook or Twitter.